Hello?
How do we cope when I feel to win?
Hey, sorry, did I wake you?
No, I was just about to drift off. You caught me at the right time. What's up?
Nothing much, I just need a distraction to be honest.
Well, I didn't know I was such a good distraction to you.
I didn't mean it like that. You're just easy to talk to, it's all, Jess.
Where are you? It sounds loud there.
Yeah, I had to leave my pop's house. If I had stayed there any longer, I would have exploded. I've been here since then. The bartender probably thinks I'm a little sus.
Well, what happened with your dad?
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm supposed to be the distraction, right? Did you catch up on the game this afternoon?
What? Jess, you know I don't watch sports that much.
I know. Just trying to change the mood. Look how gloomy you have it now.
How about you tell me about your day?
My day? Well, I hung out with Veronica. We did a little shopping. I found this cute dress. It's a little snug, but it'll do.
Oh yeah? How snug?
Snug enough. If we ever hung outside the hospital, you would have the privilege of seeing me in other articles of clothing other than my scrubs, Dr. Evans.
Is that offer to attend the comedy club still open?
It might be. I was thinking of replacing you with Eliza.
You wouldn't dare.
I'm only kidding. But of course you have plenty of time to change your mind. It's getting really late. You should go back to your dad's house and resolve whatever issues you got going on.
Trust me, I wish I could resolve it, but it's not that easy this go around.
I find it hard to believe that you of all people can't resolve something.
Well, maybe with a bit of liquid courage, I'll be able to say how I really feel to him.
That is not the route to take, and you know it.
You're right, and I'll drink to that.
What am I gonna do with you? Look, if you need to check into a motel, do that. Just be safe and call me in the morning, okay?
Okay. Good night, Jess.
Night.
Just the illusion from our hearts, oh, from our thoughts. Am I dreaming?
How's the lighting, Ned? My makeup doesn't look too cakey, does it? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Plum Bob News. I'm your host, Jacqueline Wright here with an exclusive. Just minutes from now, Detective Larson will be arriving on the station to further
Just
her...
what on earth do you think you're doing? You know you can't be here right now.
As far as I'm concerned, this is public property. I'm not violating any rules here.
Look, I understand that, but I've made it very clear that I didn't want any press near the station. It's a distraction that we just cannot afford right now.
Fine. I'll leave. Under one condition. That I get an exclusive interview with Detective Larson tomorrow evening, no later than that. Otherwise, I can stay planted here and cause all the racket I want.
I'll see what I can do.
Trust me, if things don't work themselves out, let's just say some private text messages may be leaked.
You told me you deleted those.
I don't remember giving you an official answer, darling. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to head back to studio.
If I had known dating you for 6 months would have been held over my head like this, I would have avoided it.
If you're willing to feed yourself that lie, who am I to stop you, honey? But just to make one thing clear, we both know the sex was too good for you to ever resent the relationship. And let's not forget, I was the one putting in all the work.
One less problem for today. Job well done, Zach.
Thank you, sir.
The Evans family will be coming in later today to answer a few questions. You think you can handle them?
Yes, sir. Did all of them agree to be interviewed?
Not all. Mr. Evans refused to help with the investigation. I don't know if Detective Larson will see that as something to look into. Seems pretty fishy to me.
I mean, maybe he just doesn't want to go through the hell of losing his wife all over again.
Way to go sentimental on me, Hayes. Just do me a favor and try your best not to get too emotional today. We got a job to do.
Yes, sir.
Wow. I see Bali treated you nicely.
Girl, I will tell you all about it. But I know you don't got all day. Long story short, I had a blast with Andrew.
I'm happy that you two enjoyed yourself. Any progress with, the baby?
We're actually going to see a fertility doctor today. But I don't really want to focus on that. How's my godson Jalen doing?
He's as mischievous as ever. God, he's growing up so fast, Nat. I'm honestly freaking out.
Honey, the more he grows and learns, the more room you have for...
You better not say it.
Baby number 2.
Girl, will you stop?
You know I love embarrassing you, right?
You are one silly heifer. I'll give you that.
Do I need to start mooing you?
You do that and I'm gonna walk out.
So, are you gonna tell me what's up? Why are all these people staring at you?
I have an interview at the police station after this.
Hold up, wait a minute. What? Girl, what did you do?
They reopened my mama's case yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Are you okay? Is that even the right thing to say in this situation?
Trust me, girl. I've had problems deciphering it myself. But ultimately, I'm gonna do whatever I can to get this thing solved.
You lived so long without knowing. What do you think your reaction will be once you find out who actually did it?
Honestly, I don't know. You'd think I'd be wanting to pop off on someone, but I honestly don't see myself doing that.
Well, you don't know what to expect. But if you ask me, the last thing you need is for your life to turn into a Lifetime movie. And Lifetime be having some crazy shit on their channel.
I think the only thing I'm concerned about is reliving everything piece by piece. I still have nightmares about finding her.
Do you need a hug, girl?
Nah, I'll be alright. I just have to prepare my heart for what's to come.
Okay. Just know that I'm here for you, girl.
Mrs. Humphrey, correct?
Yes.
My name is Detective Larson, but for the sake of this situation, feel free to call me Camilla.
It's nice to meet you, Camilla. It's nice to meet you. Sorry, I'm just really nervous. I don't know why.
It's perfectly natural. Don't worry about it. Now, you're probably wondering why I've decided to reopen your mother's case.
To be honest with you, I'm not really curious as to why you chose my mother. I think I'm just grateful that you did. Because as much as I don't like to admit, not knowing who's been responsible for taking her away has been a hidden stressor in my life for the past 5 years.
How did you deal with it?
At first, I didn't know how to process it, but I remember this one moment in my life where I had gotten this god-awful stain in one of my favorite dresses. I had reached for my phone to call my mama because she was a life hack queen, so she would know what to do. And then I realized I couldn't.
And that's when you broke down.
That feeling of despair I had was indescribable. And after that, I went into a depression that led to me breaking up with my boyfriend at the time.
How did he handle that?
I'd say pretty well. I ended up marrying him, so.
That's good. I'm glad. Was he able to provide for you some solace?
That, and so much more. He was truly my rock. Even though I can't stand him right now.
So, I'm going to take a complete left turn and ask you the undermining question. Can you describe the day that you found your mother deceased?
I remember that it was my day to open the salon, a place where I still work at till this day. My shift started at 7:30 and I got there at 7. So for those 30 minutes, I busied myself with cleaning missed places, putting trash bags back onto the trash cans, you know, the regular stuff.
So when did you take a lunch break?
Well, usually at 12. But for some odd reason that day, we were super busy. So all the chairs needed to be filled. I think it was because we had 2 wedding parties scheduled, and one of them had an insane amount of bridesmaids. And she was very picky on her hair choices. She wanted everything to be perfect. So, on that day, I took my lunch break around 2 p.m. Super late.
And where did you go for lunch?
I always pack mine so I don't have to deal with the tediousness of waiting in line for something to eat. Honestly, who has time for that foolishness? People get real ignorant when they're hungry. So I learned my lesson and started packing my lunches and eating outside at the park.
That same park that your mother did her exercise?
Yes, that very same one. It's always been a place that brings me relief. Mainly because me and my brother would go there all the time when we were kids. I also called my mom while I was on my lunch breaks. It was a regular thing for me, so once she didn't pick up the first time I called her, I could feel something was off.
So, when did the feeling of something being off transition into, okay, now I'm concerned?
When she didn't call me back. She always called me back 10 minutes after she saw she had a missed call. The latest, 30 minutes. So, once an hour had passed, I was absolutely sure something was wrong, and I asked to leave early to go check on her.
So, your manager allowed you to leave early, and that's when you took the commute to your mother's house. Tell me the first things you noticed when approaching the house.
The first thing I noticed was that everything was closed off. I mean, the curtains were shut, the windows were locked, and even the back door was locked, and she always left that open. I know, it sounds completely ludicrous to do something like that. But my mom was never concerned with anyone walking in besides me and my brother. We were the only ones that knew the door would always be open. And my dad.
I'll note that. Go on.
So, once I couldn't get in through the back door, I went and found the spare key hidden in the garden to unlock the front door. And once I walked in, everything was normal. The TV was on her favorite channel. She had lit a new herbal accent that I had given her for her birthday. And I could tell it was fresh because the flame hadn't even reached the center of the stick.
So, everything seemed fine to you?
Yes, I had no reason to believe my mama was dead at that point. That is, until I looked at the top of the steps and...
She was there.
Yes.
What was your initial reaction?
I screamed. That's all I could remember, was me screaming. And then I was sobbing. Wasn't even thinking about calling the police because I was just that shocked. And once they showed up, I was a hot mess. Yes, they had to escort me out the house. Then the ambulance came and took her away, but...
You knew.
Yes. I knew my mama was dead, and there was nothing I could do about it. Once the officer had sat me down and told me, my heart just shattered. My whole body ached. I felt nauseous. All these emotions just hit me.
What was the one emotion that stuck out to you the most?
Dejection, instantly. I knew I would never be the same.
You've probably heard this over 100 times, but you have my condolences, Mrs. Humphrey. I can only imagine what that experience was like. I've gotten all I needed out of this interview, but if I may ask, have you started healing? Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you for doing this. It's what my family needs. You have a good day, Detective. And if you need anything else, you got my number.
So does that mean we can scratch Mrs. Humphreys off the suspect list?
I wouldn't count her out just yet.
Sir, you cannot be in here.
He's fine.
With all due respect, Mr. Evans, you personally requested that you didn't.
He's my son. I want him here.
Did you have a change of heart about the chemo? I only asked because you were so adamant on not getting the treatment.
Before I answer any questions, is it okay if me and my son have a quick conversation?
Of course, sir. I'll come back in 30 minutes.
So, where did you end up sleeping?
I stayed at a hotel near the house. Look, Pop, I already got my bags and filled up my gas tank.
Terry, please don't do this.
I'm not doing anything, Pop. I'm just simply removing myself from the situation. It's obvious I'm not wanted here.
I know I haven't been the best communicator, especially with you. But just don't pack up and leave. Allow me to make things right.
There is nothing you could say or do to convince me to stay. I have important things to get back to at work and...
You know what? I get it now.
Get what?
You don't see your work as a job because you see past the job description and at those who you're helping. Every patient you cure is a tally going towards your mother. You don't necessarily feel obligated to help others, but you make it your own personal mission to focus on those who don't even know how good they got it. Just like you, with your mother.
I don't need you to analyze me. I just came here to tell you I'm leaving.
I guess there's nothing I can do to stop you. I pray for you every day, son. I pray that one day you'll find someone to fill that hole in your heart, or find some way to fill it yourself. You're a good man, Terry, and I'm proud of you.
Hey, I'm sorry about rushing in earlier.
Don't worry about it. I've had far worse encounters with family members and patients.
Right. So I just wanted to give you my number to put in the system as an emergency contact for Joseph Evans.
Sure. Has Mr. Evans approved of this?
He's my dad, he's stubborn as hell, and he doesn't want neither of his children to be involved with his medical affairs. But I'm asking this as his son, who cares deeply about him. Please take it and keep me updated. That's all I ask.
Okay, I can do that for you. Only because I know how it feels to be left in the dark. Hopefully, I won't lose my job over this small favor.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Jacqueline, how are things?
Miss Newton, things are going as smoothly as possible. What can I do for you?
Cut the act, bitch. What are you up to?
I beg your pardon.
You were strictly told not to run the Gina Evans cold case story, but you did anyway.
It's a story that everyone is invested in. We would be complete idiots not to run it.
I specifically told you not to run that story.
Just because your husband owns this news station doesn't give you the stamp of approval to stop us from running huge headline stories.
That may be true, sweetie. But I just want you to realize that my husband is your boss. And all it takes is one word from me to get your ass fired.
That's actually funny.
I'm not laughing, bitch. Try me again if you want to and see what happens.
Jacqueline, I don't have time to talk.
I just need you to shut up for a few seconds and hear me out. Your department needs to look into Natasha Newton.
I can't just add a suspect without any point of reasoning, Jacqueline.
Natasha is a close friend of Odette Evans. I'm sure if you looked into her background, you would find some cause for suspicion.
Natasha Newton, you say?
Yes, and do me a favor and say that you got this tip from an anonymous source. I'm not trying to lose my job.
Rightio.
you doing here?
Oh, should I come back later?
It's practically nighttime already. Just come on in.
So, everything's picking up in the investigation.
Did you really drive all the way over here to talk about the investigation?
Well, I just thought...
Sometimes I need to take my mind off of things before I begin to overanalyze. Long showers always help, hence why I'm not properly dressed at the moment.
I get it, really, I do. But I kind of dug myself into a hole and I need you to help me get out of it.
Oh, Lord, what did you do?
So, an ex-girlfriend of mine, who just so happens to be a news reporter, blackmailed me into getting an exclusive interview with you.
What exactly did she blackmail you with? Nude photos or deleted text?
Deleted texts? Well, at least what I thought were deleted. It's been such a long time since that relationship, and I've been so invested in my job that once she showed up, she just completely caught me off guard.
Why didn't things work out?
She wanted things that I just couldn't give her.
Such as?
Time, expensive vacations, luxurious gifts. I mean, with the salary I make, none of that was going to be possible. I'd break out into a sweat if I took her to dinner and found the bill to be over $30.
Poor guy.
I know you wanted to keep this case completely under wraps, and with as few updates to the media as possible, but we've known each other for so many years and I've never asked anything of you.
Fine. I'll do the interview.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I was beginning to worry you were going to say no.
Like you said, we've been friends for years. You've seen me through a lot of things. It's the very least I could do for you.
Are you alright? You seem quite distracted.
Nothing. I'm actually looking for a distraction.
I can feel your heart hanging in the air. I'm counting every step as you climb the stairs. It's buried in your bones. I see it in your closed eyes turning in. This is harder than we know. We hold it in the most when we're wearing thin. Coming like a hurricane, I take it in real slow. The world is spinning like a well of vein, fragile and composed. Though I am breaking down again, I am aching now to let you in.
Hey, can we talk? I'm so sorry.
It's all we know, all we know. The hurricane falling slow, and It's all we know, the